domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Kids living in a household with married parents do better in school, they're emotionally healthier, and they're more likely to stay out of trouble with the law. If you're in a troubled marriage, of course you should do everything you can to save your marriage, if only for your kids' sake. This includes considering alternatives to divorce. Of course, in some circumstances, divorce is unavoidable. In either case, if you're a man facing a crisis in your marriage, let us help you at Cordell & Cordell. Remember, we're the partner men can count on.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln, Cordell & Cordell, 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska, 68508.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Make bill paying a breeze with Text to Pay. LES texts you 1 week before your bill's due date. Just reply to the text to pay. It's that easy. Log into your account at les.com to sign up today.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222. When opportunity knocks, you don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, Hamilton Business Technologies equips your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next opportunity? Nebco is hiring. They're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. They offer competitive wages, great benefits, service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Apply today at nebco.com. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for the Nebco shop. Learn more at nebco.com. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at nebco.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
MHC isn't new, just a new name. Mo's Moving is now Mo's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can also handle your commercial moves as well. There's never fees on trucks, stairs, elevators, long carry, and last-minute booking, and no trip or fuel charges. Also no upcharge on weekends, and they do offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Welcome in to Be a Beacon with Lighthouse on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, Bill Mitchner.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome. I feel like I haven't been here in a minute, Harrison. I'm glad you were helpful in holding it down while I was gone.
Absolutely. Yeah, because Drew Haverman a little bit more. Great co-host to step in here when he needs to. But yeah, Bill, it's been crazy. I did not realize how much your job requires you just traveling around, making all these connections, meetings, do what you need to do for the Lighthouse. It's not like you're traveling, riding roller coasters and going to visit cool places. I mean, you're getting work done.
I mean, a little bit of that too, but we'll get into that here in a little bit. But because we had a trip with the kids, and I literally just got back I don't know, half an hour ago.
Yeah, appreciate you showing up for your show after the long drive.
Yeah, literally dropped off coolers at Lighthouse and came up here. But, I have a special guest tonight. He's a close friend of mine, and he has a business, and he is actually doing a fundraiser for us. But we'll get into that again here in a little bit. But Nate Jones, welcome tonight.
Thank you.
Nate, so you're going to have to tell people, what brought you to Lighthouse? How did we even get connected in the first place?
That's actually a super good question. As I was driving here, I was trying to brainstorm that a little bit. Yeah. I think it was it was in college. And I think the first time I ever volunteered at Lincoln Lighthouse was through the fraternity, Beta Theta Pi and Pete.
Yeah.
Right. So that was the first time, but that's not really what hooked me, man. I don't know what it was. I just wanted to find a place to volunteer like after the university. And so I reached out to you. I don't even remember who connected. Oh, probably my uncle.
Yeah.
Actually was on the board at the time. Yeah. So I just started volunteering over there every once in a while. And I mean, it's hard to say no to Bill Mitchner, like you're an easy guy to become friends with. Right. So yeah, that's kind of where it all started.
Yeah. And then you stepped away and you created a family and worked on your business, and life became busy.
Yeah.
And
it's
so
shameful. I wish I could still be there all the time. I wish I could, but we're trying to find other ways to connect though. That's what we're working on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and hey, Drew, welcome.
What's up, everybody? How you doing?
So Drew, not only, I got back about 30 minutes ago or so and came running over here. Drew literally just got back and ran down here. So welcome, Drew.
We were just in Kansas City about 3 hours ago. So I'm here.
Yeah, welcome.
My heart's beating fast though. We're here though.
Yeah, and we do need to get into that. I mean, but
it's fresh on the brain. So
I mean, and fun. But I do want to get okay. So what's going on? What do you got going on? Tell us what you're doing right now for Lighthouse.
Yeah. Well, so as a business, right, our mission is to provide the best possible product with the best possible service in the most convenient way. That's our business.
Yeah. What is
mission,
your business?
right? Canyon Coffee Roasters.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Wow. That's the number one thing
I'm
to
just
mention, probably, right?
I mean,
Yeah,
everybody's
Canyon
out there
Coffee
like, what
Roasters.
does he do?
Yeah. So we sell coffee to businesses and homes
Yeah.
throughout the country. So we primarily sell in Nebraska and the Midwest, but we ship all over the country.
And
Yeah.
this guy right here,
So,
this is a staple in our household.
Costa Rica Cafe Conamore lover.
Right.
I know what it is.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm out. I need some more.
Yeah. But as a team, right, we came together and we kind of have another mission that comes along with that, which is that we believe that business can be a really powerful avenue for good in our communities.
Yeah.
And so we were doing some brainstorming on ways that we could positively impact our community, kind of use the resources at our disposal to do a little bit of good in Lincoln. And one way that we came up with to do that was reaching out to the Lincoln Lighthouse and trying to figure out ways of raising some money for one of Lincoln's best nonprofits. I know that's a personal opinion, but I sincerely believe it.
It's
you
a
know,
fact.
Yeah, it's a fact.
I mean,
It's
we share that
Yeah.
same
1 + 1
thought.
= 2.
Yeah.
Lighthouse
Yeah.
is the best.
So what we're doing is we're taking 25% of all retail sales through the month of July, and we're giving it to Lincoln Lighthouse. We're also just doing some promotional things as well, but that's the objective, is to raise funds.
So how does somebody get a hold of you or get your product or any of that stuff?
That's a great question. Coming to us at 48th and Old Cheney, it's a great way to do it. But there's a even better way to do it. You could do it straight from home, www.canyoncoffeeroasters.com. We track that all on there, and we're also collecting just kind of free will donations through the website as well. So if you want to buy a bag of coffee, like, you can be confident that a quarter of that bag of coffee is going to Lincoln Lighthouse. But if you want to kick in a little extra as well, you can do that.
Now, you mentioned his favorite coffee was what, Costa Rican? Was it? So is there lots of different kinds like that? Like different nations, different like all ethnicities and all that?
Oh man. We have we represent maybe 10 different unique countries, origins.
So crazy.
Unique coffees, and we roast them all differently, right? And so every coffee is roasted differently.
In-house.
Yes, in-house, right? By me and my team. And so the Costa Rica is a really popular coffee, really clean medium roast.
Another example of like a different country one.
Actually, well, there's a story to tell, a really short story to tell about the Costa Rica, and that's that it's actually produced by a family, and the husband of the family is from Seward, Nebraska. So there's local roots, right?
Awesome.
In Nebraska, there's always a local connection. Always a local
It's
connection.
like being a
anywhere
Lincoln
in the
High
world.
grad, there's always connections.
Yes, always. And so, they met. Oh man, I wish Mary and Ella and Jonathan Yost are their names.
Oh yeah.
And they own a farm in Costa Rica. They met going to school here in the United States, and they have a nonprofit, or what functions as a nonprofit essentially. It's called Farmers Project, and they work to create sustainability in Costa Rica. So that's we don't have a ton of direct trade relationships. That's one of our direct trade relationships. So we buy directly from the farm in Costa Rica. So not only is it like an excellent coffee, one of our best sellers, but it also is like an incredibly ethical, sustainable coffee too. So we're really proud to have that one.
Well, honestly, we're proud to be partners because we love your coffee so much. I mean, I've sent your coffee to friends of mine, Tregill Wade, and friends in Philadelphia and stuff like that directly through you.
For sure.
Because I love it so much. I want people to try it even if they're not in Nebraska.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Always. I mean, we do love it. When we're done with it, or when we're out, we're like, oh my gosh, we did not connect. We got to connect to Nate. Look, you said you're on 48th and Old Cheney.
Yes, sir.
But they're not going to see a big sign that says Canyon Coffee.
Yeah, we're working on that. It's kind of like it's a low key thing. If
Yeah,
and
you're connected. You're connected to what?
Yeah, we share a space with Bagels and Joe in town. They're one of our partners, and so but we sell to a bunch of really amazing coffee shops in town. The Harbor, we partner with them. Reactor, we partner with them. A bunch of the coffee shops.
Bagels and Joe on 48th and Old Cheney was my first job ever, actually.
You're kidding me?
14 years old. Yep, my dad knows the owners. It was just perfect. I was washing dishes there, getting dehydrated in the back.
That's crazy. That's crazy. How long ago was that?
Oh, I'd have been freshman, so I'm gonna say 2005, 2004, 2005.
That's wild.
You said you don't want to say like that's a long time ago.
The kids just made fun of me for being old all weekend, so I'm used to it.
They also call Brooklyn grandma, so and she's not even that old.
Yeah.
Their perspective is wild. Like Harrison, they'd look at you and go, "You are old."
Yeah, I'm starting to feel it too, though. Like I don't know if you guys ever watch like the reels or anything like that. Like
what's that? I don't know what that is.
A little short, form content.
No,
it's still called the internet, though.
No.
I don't know what the kids are saying in a lot of those anymore, and I'm 26.
Yeah,
like that's the same to me.
You're still young.
Now. I just say them, and if I say it wrong, they tell me if I'm wrong, and I just say it anyway. Skibbity. There you go.
And I tell them I'm old. I'm stuck in my ways, so I'll talk the way I want to talk.
Yeah, that's a good route to go. Then I never have to change.
Nate, when I met you, it was a few years ago also, and you were one of our best volunteers because you were actually on the court playing basketball with the kids. Now, we're talking about being old. Is that still in your wheelhouse, or what are we doing with basketball these days?
Yeah, I was loved hooping back then for sure.
You
Yeah,
said I loved.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. If I go to the gym, I'll shoot around a little bit, but that's about it.
It was always cool to see because I think it was back then. It was Matt was in the gym at that time.
Yeah.
It was always like, I was like, oh, Nate's here. Hey, let's get some games going.
Well,
then
I found it was like such a great way of connecting with the kids.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like it was really organic.
Yeah.
You know, that was the most. You go in there as a volunteer and you don't know anybody, and the kids don't know you, so you have to try to find a way of building relationships.
You're
right?
a complete stranger, right?
Yeah, that's the impact. That's the impact of Lincoln Lighthouse, and so just trying to find that way of building those relationships. It was the basketball court,
and that's
for
the
me,
hard
for sure.
part is that like initial like who is this guy like
how do you break that
why are
ice,
you
right?
here and stuff. But then like a lot of people don't realize that if you just jump into what they're doing, that's all it takes. If you play video games with them, if you just go even talk trash with them and their friends, they're gonna like
meet
that.
them where they're at.
Yeah, if you just sit there and hope they come to you, they're never gonna come to you.
Yep. So when I got swatted, it was intentional, right? I meant to building relationships.
That's right. You're right. You're building them up. Their self-esteem got higher.
That's what it was.
And it's funny, you talk about relationships. You're not even a staff person at Lighthouse. You're a former volunteer. And that's the key to what we do is building those relationships, right? And so it's funny as a volunteer how that sunk in and was real for you on being able to connect with those kids.
Yeah, easily. I mean, I think that's the beauty of Lincoln Lighthouse. I mean, I know that this is I'm preaching to the choir here. I'm preaching to the choir for sure. But like when you walk in the door, you know, like you'll follow a youth into Lincoln Lighthouse and you walk in the door and it's just immediately evident how strong the relationships are between the staff, the youth, like everybody's interconnected. You know, there's a comfort level that happens just crossing the threshold, you know? And I think you witness that once and you're a supporter.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, and it's cool because, you know, we do that well and the staff do that well. And another magical thing is we connect kids to experiences, things that they've never done before, thought they could do before. One of my first instances of this is we used to take the kids bowling for Christmas. And to have a kid come up and say, this is the funnest thing I've ever done. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Do you mean we're bowling? In my mind, I'm thinking bowling. And to them, it's the funnest thing.
Yeah.
And then when we get to do stuff like Kansas City trip, and when we have kids that have never been on rides, like ever, roller coasters that are looking at this going, yeah, right.
Yeah, we were at the wave pool just like yesterday, and I was standing there with my kids, and they're all doing the thing, and then another group of kids walks in, and one of the little 6th grade, 7th grade girls sees me and like goes, "True," and then runs to the wave pool. It's like, this is the wave pool, and you're just like, yeah, this is the wave pool. Yeah, you're right. This is kind of cool for somebody who's never seen it before, and we get to be a part of those first times, and we can be the safe people that they are not afraid to run to a grown man that's not their family. You know, I mean, give them a hug, and it's just like. It's some of the best times.
And so we went on the Mamba right away when we got there. And one of the young men that has never been on a ride before is like, I've never been on a roller coaster.
That was the first one?
We're getting on the Mamba.
We went to the Mamba.
So he's literally sitting in the front, not the front car. So the second car and the front seat of the second car. So when the first car dips down, we're there. Like it's before it goes. And so he's sitting next to me and he's like, Bill, I don't know. Said, well, we're in it now. So just breathe, just keep breathing. You're going to be fine. He's like, okay. I think I'll be okay. Once I get into it, it'll be fine. And so I stick my hands up. He's like, what are you doing? I said, it's fine. And so the first drop is the big drop, right? You're way above the detonator, and the detonator is the free drop thing. And so he's watching me and like freaking out a little bit. But the second drop, he sticks his hands up with me. And so everything became different for him, and he got over that fear, and then he was on roller coasters all day long. And it's cool to see that click with them and let them try something that feels safe when you're next to them and doing it. So it's a cool thing.
I like the new experience also because we had a girl who's there, and it was the first time really even coming out of the city and first time going to like a water park and all that. And she was like, I just want a tube and I just want to float. And I was like, let me show you what a lazy river is real quick. And she was like, what's a lazy river? And I was like, it's exactly what you want it to be. And then we just sat there and did 3 laps around it. And she was just like in heaven. Like, I've only done this in a little pool where you walk with your friends in a circle and you're just like, no, this is a big one. And that's just the little experiences that like they would never have had if they didn't have a chance to come to Lighthouse on a day. You know?
And the things that we take for granted. So Kanye is a mainstay here. He's been on twice. Is one of our graduating seniors. We actually had 5 graduating seniors that went on this trip. Kanye was one of them. And he went outside and sat down in the sun this morning and was just in a Zen moment. Like, so much so I had to take a picture, because how many times do you capture somebody truly in a Zen moment, like at peace fully?
Nature.
And he sat there for a half an hour with his eyes closed, with the sun shining on him. And those are the moments that it's just like, gee, this is what we got to do.
Got the city boy out in the country and he's loving it.
Long night, painful for a lot of us because we were up hot, all day yesterday. We were tired, not much sleep last night, but it's those moments that just, I'm like, this is worth it. Yeah. This is why it's worth it.
I don't know if I've ever thought about Lincoln Lighthouse as a vessel for experiences, but now that you say that, that's like embedded in everything that you do.
Yeah,
I mean, everything you say that and a light bulb like goes off for me. Like, that's everything is built around creating experiences.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's what we were talking about in the car ride back here the last 3 hours. Me and Carmen were talking. It's like, yes, like all these things, the world is going crazy, whatever, but like these kids, no matter what, 10 years from now, even 20 years from now, they can tell their kids they went to Worlds of Fun. They went to Oceans of Fun. Even if they forget our names, they'll still remember the guy with the hair, the really nice girl with the brown hair. They'll still remember that moment, and they'll take a lesson from that moment to their kids or to other kids that they're working with. And like, you don't have to make money off of things for it to be a success. Like, that's a lesson that they're learning for their life.
And then cool things happen too. So the staff put together a little gift basket for the owners of the farm that we're on. And so there's dog treats and stuff for the staff because they're wonderful people. 13-bedroom Airbnb on a farm. And so it's beautiful. It's wonderful. But the woman that owns it, what do you mean you got us a gift bag? What are you doing? She's like, seriously? So she's digging through it. And she's like, you guys are kind of a special group, aren't you? She's like, dang, nobody does this.
Shout out Circle S Ranch.
Yeah. Circle S Ranch in Kansas. And so then we go take them out to eat today. And we had 34 people. So I called ahead to give them the orders and stuff. And they're scrambling around. Huge orders, everybody everywhere, butchering the kids' names. It's fine. But it was happening. And you can tell they were a little more frantic and just trying to keep up and serve us all. And so at the end, I'm like, you did a really good job. Thank you for, keeping up and doing it. And she goes, are you kidding me? You guys are wonderful. You're the ones helping. Your kids are so nice. Everybody is just so helpful. She goes, I appreciate you guys. And those are the experiences I want people to experience with my kids. Instead of being stereotypical for our kids, we have amazing young people that we serve. They just have not had the experiences, haven't got to see through different lenses for them to truly blossom and give people what they're all about. So
that's pretty telling, too. That's the ultimate test. A group of 34 at a table. Can we behave ourselves and not get distracted? Like I have 3 older brothers, and we can't even manage that with the 4 of us. So that's a big shout out to Lighthouse.
So impressive.
Yeah, and again, these people don't know our kids. And for them to experience it like that and get to give us some feedback that's positive, and we get to walk away and they're like, who are you again?
And like, say what you want, but like you see a two, big vans, Sprinter vans pull up to your restaurant that say things like academic enrichment and life skills. You're thinking like, okay, these are probably going to be some like kids who need to learn all these skills. These are about to be some naughty kids. Like, but no, our kids come in, they like say, thank you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sirs. And like, I could just picture an employee seeing that van pull up and be like, this is about to be chaos, but we're the best behaved people in the building half the time.
And so
it's a culture thing.
Yeah.
We'll get back to talking a little bit more about our culture and our kids after this break.
MHC isn't new, just a new name. Mo's Moving is now Mo's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered. Specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can also handle your commercial moves as well. There's never fees on trucks, stairs, elevators, long carry, and last-minute booking, and no trip or fuel charges. Also no upcharge on weekends, and they do offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2. Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
Life changes, and sometimes that means changing where you call home. Whether you're downsizing, growing a family, relocating, or facing tough times, you shouldn't navigate it alone. I'm Laura Bonta-Bush with Woods Bros Realty, and I'm here to guide you with all your real estate needs. As wife of football coach Bill Bush, I understand the importance of teamwork and making sure you are supported every step of the way with honesty, integrity, and compassion. If you're looking for a game plan to buy or sell your home, text or call me at 402-525-0843. That's 402-525-0843.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Hopefully you and I agree that you should do everything you can to save your marriage. Divorce is hard, expensive, and its outcome is usually not all you hope for. However, when doing everything has failed, when divorce remains as your last option, consider Cordell & Cordell as your first choice to help you through the divorce process to a better place on the other side. We've been a partner men can count on for more than 30 years. Let us be that partner for you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 402-858-3220. That's 402-858-3220. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln. 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next opportunity? Nebco is hiring. They're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. They offer competitive wages, great benefits, service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Apply today at nebco.com. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for the Nebco shop. Learn more at nebco.com. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at nebco.com.
MHC isn't new, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered. Specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can also handle your commercial moves as well. There's never fees on trucks, stairs, elevators, long carry, and last-minute booking, and no trip or fuel charges. Also no upcharge on weekends, and they do offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Fuhrer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Fuhrer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Now back to Be a Beacon with Lighthouse on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Here we are, having spirited discussions over break and getting into wishes and dreams and hoping that young people had more opportunities to just kind of live through kids' lenses again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're talking just like all the opportunities because like growing up in small town, we're talking now football field, all this stuff's locked up. Small town's great. You can just a lot more open out there, fun stuff to do for the kids. So yeah, over the break, we're just kind of talking about some limited activities. It feels like outdoors wise for the youth today.
You mentioned small towns. I remember being maybe 8th grade, and I went to visit my friend Casey, who lives in Minden, Nebraska. And what we did the whole time I was there was we went to the Minden High School football field and we played football all day. And now I'm thinking about it. There's no way a kid could walk to Seacrest and just go play on the field.
Gosh, could you imagine? They'd be arrested.
And we have Russ Hookstein Field, and at the gate, there's a little sliver, and you're welcome. Like every night, people are running on the track, getting workouts in.
Yeah.
You could go on the field. No one ruined it. So, it's tough. Like I kind of feel for kids in big cities that like you can't just go walk over to their football field. But to Bill's point, over the break liabilities and lawsuits happen. So
yeah, well, and you get knuckleheads too. I mean, not that small towns don't have knuckleheads, but there's more limited and eyeballs.
Yeah, they get
neighbors or neighbors
other.
will be like,
I saw your son on the football
I
field.
saw Nate out there. You better get Nate over here and get this graffiti cleaned up off the field.
A lot of people know me as a troublemaker. That's for sure.
Oh my goodness! So what was that website? Did you put that website up on the board on the Canyon Coffee?
We can do it right now. Actually,
excellent, Harrison. You are a magician. We appreciate you a lot.
Nate, what got you kind of in the coffee world? Then when did that start?
That's a good question, man.
He was 2 years old,
drinking coffee,
and they put coffee in his baby bottle.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I've been roasting coffee since I was 2 years old. It was college, so I went to the university here. And while I was in college, I worked at a coffee shop. So that's just kind of the hook, right?
People
And
fall in
then
love with coffee when they work in the coffee shop, man. I have a lot
You
of friends that
do.
do. That's crazy. It's
Well,
awesome.
I fell in love. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to sound a little bit like a broken record probably, but I fell in love with the community.
Yeah.
I did. It's a place. I'm a romantic, so allow me to go there just a little bit here.
Forever.
Right. But like you go into a coffee shop and you see an older couple over here having lunch, and you see a first date over here. You see a group doing studying over here. You see friends meeting over there. Like it's a place, a cup of coffee or a table at a coffee shop is a place where people it's community. It's where people gather. Right.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with that. And I kind of wanted a shot at creating that a little bit myself. Now I've kind of gotten into a different side of that, right? I'm creating the item, the product. But so then after college, I got a job in sales, and I was kind of searching for, what was next for me. And the opportunity came up to purchase this coffee roasting company. And the gentleman that owned it before me was retiring and just wanted somebody to pour into it what he had also
The
poured
passion
into
and
it.
love,
Yeah. And so we really just hit it off. And so I learned a lot from him, both about like small business ownership and also coffee roasting. And then I purchased the business in 2017, and I got really lucky with that. I was a young guy with no resources, and I had some people offer to kind of help me out and get me into the business. And
So was it already Canyon Coffee before you had it, then, or did you change it to Canyon Coffee?
No, it was already Canyon Coffee. Yeah. So that was a pastime for this gentleman, the former owner, and the Axman family. I probably can give them a shout out. Great people. They had a pastime of getting out, riding bikes on the trails and going on vacations. And Bill, you're a man that likes to spend a lot of time in Colorado and the canyons,
so,
right?
yes.
So yeah, it's something. Yeah, it fits with me too. That sort of the outdoors spirit. Yeah.
It's funny that you talked about that romantic aspect of creating that community in the coffee shop, and now you're at the point where you're helping other coffee shops be able to create those moments, and so your fingerprint gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Your family tree gets bigger
Very
and
much
bigger and
so.
bigger, and it's a lot like Lighthouse. And I think that's part of the reason why you connected so well with Lighthouse. Is it's very similar, right? We're creating community. We're giving opportunities for people to connect and to, as a romantic, feel love, because love is our change agent at Lighthouse, and feel like you're a part of something special. And when we became accredited, and I start going out now to all these other organizations and help them with our accreditation as a reviewer, I see it as a partnership, and I see it as a way for us to continue our legacy as Lighthouse through other kids, through other communities. That's why I do what I do, and that's why I travel. I am getting a little sick of the travel side, but the passion side is that we continue to put a little bit of Lighthouse's fingerprint across the country, across the world, because I think we do it right. I think we build relationships and we do what we do well.
I 100% agree. I would love to see a Lighthouse type of mentality in every nonprofit in the whole entire world, but that's utopia, right?
What did you just say? You said love is our
Change agent.
Love is our change agent.
Yes.
That's big.
Yeah.
That's Lighthouse.
I don't think I've ever heard that before. Is that like ingrained into the mission of?
That's what we are. I mean,
institution?
TJ McDowell started saying that like way before I was director, and because love really is what Lighthouse is all about. And that, when you think about unconditional love as a parent, you want to try to be that, live that unconditional side. And I think Lighthouse really does well at that, because if it's something that one staff can't do, another staff can. And that connection is there. So, and that's what makes it special, is that you can't realistically think that I can connect to every kid, I can change every kid. That's asinine. You can't do that. However, if you create a team that's wide enough, somebody there is more likely to be able to connect. Now, there's that very small percentage, the 0.01%, that isn't going to connect to anybody for a lot of reasons. Mistrust, whatever it is. Again, I think we do it really well because of the wide breadth of the staff that I have and what they do and what they provide, because very talented team, and they continue to come to Lighthouse. Like, I just hired 2 new people that are literally brand new. This is the first trip they go on, and they're already connected to kids.
Shout out
Like
Jaden said.
they're literally walking around with kids by themselves, connecting immediately. So it's super cool to see that.
Do you guys have? I should know the answer to this, but do you have volunteers still still regularly, even over the summer and everything? Like
not as much this summer, but it's during the school year. It's constant.
Yeah, and we had a transition. Our volunteer coordinator left right at start of summer.
Yeah.
So that was one of the hires that we did. And so she literally just started July 1st.
So I was going to just shout that out too. Like, you're talking about, before the break, we were talking about how your Lighthouse is a creator of experiences, right? And I think that that's true for the youth, but I think it's also true for the volunteers, the people that are involved in Lighthouse. And I can speak from a volunteer perspective. Like, I came out of that experience with a whole bunch of experiences that I wouldn't have had otherwise. And then I also had some skills that I could contribute to Lighthouse in the way that you're talking about. Yeah. So this volunteer pool is really important, right? Because
Very
you're
much
getting
so.
different people involved that can connect with kids in different ways.
Different talents.
So then, are there things that you've taken then from volunteering at Lighthouse that you've transitioned into your business right now? As how you deal with people, how you sell something, how you make something?
That's a huge question, and that was kind of putting me on the spot a little bit.
That's what I do. But ask Harrison. That's what I do.
I would say, it's kind of more like Lighthouse was more of a symptom of, but I think it kind of it's self-fulfilled, and that's that I just really believe in treating people with love, right? And I think that volunteering at Lighthouse was a way of me kind of allowing me to
solidify it,
practice that, right? But then I think that experience also helped me build those skills that I value, right? And so it was kind of a put things in and take things out.
Kind of help confirm that you want to help people too.
Yeah. And then also, I mean, it's so important too. You're talking about experiences, just seeing the lives that different people live. I mean, everybody's living a different life, right? And so being able to be connected to people that are different than me in one way or another, I just think that that's such a valuable experience.
So I'm going to speak because I'm the OG at Lighthouse, right?
Yeah.
And you talked about volunteers get those experiences too. Well, so do we.
Yeah.
And like I just talked about that on the first segment, is for me to experience through the lenses of Kanye, and to see that and be a part of that is life-changing. And so we get it too. And if we lose it, and this will be a challenge for all my staff, is if we lose that, we should be able to take that step back and wonder, what do I need to do to reconnect and why I'm here? Because when it's all said and done, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, except for the kids. We should be kid focused, and everything else we can work through, but we got to come back to the kids and find that magic that we're seeing in them, because it'll be hard, because we have hard days. There are a lot of things that happen in our own personal lives, a lot of things that happen in our kids' lives that affect us negatively. We've got to figure out how to get through that and see that goodness and bring it out as much as we can.
It's one thing that we do talk about a lot as a staff, is the quickly of, we need to do this paperwork, we need to fill out this report, we need to do this. And it's okay, real quick, take a step back. Did the kids have fun today? Did they leave smiling? Just, you can fill that paperwork out in an hour or so. Just appreciate the moment you're in right now.
Right.
You did something good.
Yeah. And I hope staff can recognize that in the times and stuff, and lean on the relationships that they've built. And sometimes we hear some negative things from the kids. Sometimes they say things that aren't very nice, but we have to remember that's really not about our relationship. It's about the things that is going on in their lives.
Sure.
And we're safe enough for them to take that out on us, because they know we're not walking away. Yeah. So that's a positive thing. We should be looking at that as gosh, for them to do that, knowing I'm not going to walk away. Mm-hmm. They really know that. And they say that stuff because they know that.
I think that's been one of my biggest takeaways the last few weeks, is being a safe person. It's just that is almost more valuable than just any type of money. It's the fact that somebody can come to you when they need you.
Right.
And trust that they can.
But sometimes we don't take it as that, because it feels negative. Like they're saying something mean to us, about something we did or didn't do. We need to drill down on that, though, and not take that for face value, because a lot of times they're bringing home to Lighthouse, and so they're going to take it out on us. Yeah,
I imagine a lot of those kids just don't have outlets. you know, to voice it. And if they maybe did voice it in this area, it wouldn't go very well for them. And then you guys, unfortunately, have to take the brunt. I mean, that's just what that kid needs is to, you know, might not be nice, but at least I've just been heard.
Yeah.
And you guys won't, you know, tell them to shoo away. You'll sit there and listen to them.
And they'll come back. And they really do. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I said that to you
all the time.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
And it's amazing because then we can say, we love you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to change. I understand that days get tough. How about we try to do that different next time? So, hey, I'm going to throw that ball back to Harrison. Let's take this break.
MHC isn't new, just a new name. Mo's Moving is now Mo's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can also handle your commercial moves as well. There's never fees on trucks, stairs, elevators, long carry, and last-minute booking, and no trip or fuel charges. Also no upcharge on weekends, and they do offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2. Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
Life changes, and sometimes that means changing where you call home. Whether you're downsizing, growing your family, relocating, or facing tough times, you shouldn't navigate it alone. I'm Laura Bonta-Bush with Woods Rose Realty, and I'm here to guide you with all your real estate needs. As wife of football coach Bill Bush, I understand the importance of teamwork and making sure you are supported every step of the way with honesty, integrity, and compassion. If you're looking for a game plan to buy or sell your home, text or call me at 402-525-0843. That's 402-525-0843.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Hopefully you and I agree that you should do everything you can to save your marriage. Divorce is hard, expensive, and its outcome is usually not all you hope for. However, when doing everything has failed, when divorce remains as your last option, consider Cordell & Cordell as your first choice to help you through the divorce process to a better place on the other side. We've been a partner men can count on for more than 30 years. Let us be that partner for you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 402-858-3220. That's 402-858-3220. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln. 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next opportunity? Nebco is hiring. They're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. They offer competitive wages, great benefits, service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Apply today at nebco.com. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for the Nebco shop. Learn more at nebco.com. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at nebco.com.
You're listening to One on One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Way off.
Welcome back. Here we are just chit-chatting, and, we missed the introduction, and, we're talking about basketball and who's the GOAT and all this stuff. And so, there was this argument going on in here. It got really heated. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I'm not going to go back on the show. I'm done. So Nate left because he was so upset.
Yeah, I did.
But he had to come back in because he forgot his water.
Splash a little water on my face, and I'm fine.
Oh, goodness gracious. So, again, Nate, I appreciate you being on, and I appreciate you doing that fundraiser. I appreciate you being a friend. You're a great volunteer, and I know life has happened, and we have some separation, but we still keep coming back. We
do. Yeah.
It's not like it's going to end anytime soon. I mean, that's what makes people family, right? You don't have to actually see each other. I haven't even seen one of my older brothers for over a decade, and we're still brothers. It's weird how that works.
You remember you and Michelle came over to our house for dinner that time. We sat out back.
Yeah.
And then you looked up in the sky and you said, "That's a bat up there." And and it didn't bother me that much, but you know who hates bats? My wife hates bats.
Oh, so did y'all move?
Thank you for that. Yeah. Yeah, right.
You're like, we got to move. It's over.
That's it, though. That's the Lincoln Lighthouse family, right? That's the
it's
the connections
wild
that we form.
I mean, like the kids, sometimes I don't see the kids, they graduate, move on, but then all of a sudden they pop back in.
Well, we had two drive all the way to Kansas City just to come to Worlds of Fun with us.
Yeah.
It's insane. They graduated and they're like, I'm still going to come. And they paid for themselves and they came in, they just hung out. It was,
that's awesome. They paid for themselves?
Yeah, they drove up themselves, 3-hour drive for some 18-year-old boys and found us at the park and hung out the whole time. It's like, you could have probably hung out with other people, looked for girls or whatever you guys do these days, but you wanted to hang out with the middle schoolers. So,
well,
that's awesome.
It's
staff.
A little bit of that, but it's mostly staff. It's
mainly me.
Again, that's what makes it special is we get those opportunities to, carry going out on the field because, it's senior day for the football and me walking a girl down the aisle. I mean, all of those things happen to us.
You have alumni come back pretty frequently.
Oh yeah.
To visit.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
You have to kick them out sometimes.
Even like well down the road.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, that's
they'll bring their babies and just be like, hey,
That's
I want to meet. And
amazing.
you're just like, oh
Yeah.
dang, I'm old now.
It's a connection and it never goes away. Like, again, I'll see some of my kids from way back since, 29-year celebration for myself. And they'll run up on the street and hug me. And it's like, didn't miss a beat. Yeah. It's a special place and it creates special bonds.
I kind of had a few coffee questions for you. You had a second.
Yeah.
So
cream I
don't even really drink it. I'm curious. So this morning we had a bunch of kids wanting coffee. What would be like a good age that you would recommend someone to drink coffee?
He's like, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah,
I don't have the expertise in
I'm
that.
just saying because
he's like 2.
That was not something that I would have been even asking for at 12 and 13. But kids these days are going to
yeah, but it's a lot
Starbucks
different now.
My coffee journey, right?
Yeah.
So I started drinking coffee like mochas and sugar-filled drinks, right? In college, I didn't start drinking coffee until like my freshman year of college. And I studied right down the street here.
Yeah.
And I would go in there like 4 days a week and get mochas. And it cost me so much money that I was like, I got to find a cheaper habit.
Yeah.
And so then I started drinking black coffee and I didn't love it. I didn't love it at first.
Well,
but
no,
that's
never do.
Yes, but that's where it starts. But then you like the more that you enjoy coffee, the more that you can start picking up on someone like,
Yes.
it's gonna sound kind of jargony, but like the nuance, the flavor profiles and the different things.
Yep.
There's a lot of, like I said earlier, we have these beans that we roast every coffee that we have uniquely. Like no two coffees are roasted the same way, right? And the reason that we do that is to highlight the character, the notes, the terroir that are that's present in the beans.
Listen
so
to
like
the terroir.
yeah. Well, let me drop a crazy one on you. So we have this Colombia called El Girasol. It's just a super wild experimental processing method, and the flavor profile of that is strawberry bubblegum, white wine, whiskey, and lemon. That's the flavor profile of the right. These are just the inherent notes in the coffee. It's not like nothing's added.
You're not adding these
we're
flavor
not. These
profiles,
are not like being rested inside of whiskey barrels or whatever it is, right? This is just naturally occurring flavors in the beans, and so our job is to roast the coffee to like highlight those flavors.
Well, and you got to understand, humans, we don't even like food. When you're a baby, you have to introduce food over and over and over. So our palates have to be, you have to season the palate no matter what you're doing. Nobody drinks something and like, this is the best thing I ever had. No, I hated coffee when I started my journey. Now black only.
I worked at Husker Auto Group for a little bit, and they had like one of those fancy coffee makers, and every morning I'd go over there and get a hot chocolate, and I would sit there and like have it on my desk, and I pretend it was coffee. And this one time my manager walked over and he was like, "Got your coffee, honey?" Sat down like on my desk and we were just talking, and he goes, "That smells like chocolate." And I was like, "That's coffee." And he like
it's a
took it
mocha.
from me. And he's like, "There's marshmallows in this." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't drink coffee."
Got me.
He got me. It's chocolate.
He's like, it's dark like coffee, kind of.
I was pretending. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's the good stuff."
Yeah.
He's a lemonade guy, but
I'm a lemonade guy. Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love lemonade.
So again, Nate, did you have one quick?
Nope.
Okay, Nate, I appreciate you being on. Please check out Canyon Coffee Roasters and support Lighthouse through that. And Nate, I appreciate you very much.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me.
And Harrison, I appreciate you too. And don't forget, out there, be a beacon, shine your light bright for somebody else.
Be who you needed. Say nice things to people.